Doki Doki Literature Club. So, I suppose right here with this odd girl, I don't trust her at all. So having her smile at me so genuinely, that isn't a genuine smile. That is a I'm gonna kill you in your sleep smile. Believe me, I would know. You too, Monica. Come sit down, Akari. Oh, right, I forgot. This is not my name. That's whoever Toga stole this from. Come sit down, Akari. We made room at you for the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. And how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened, so there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Yeah. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? She's too happy. I think there's cyanide in those cupcakes. Ta-da! Whoa. Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like cats. I don't trust... I don't know. I think... Did you put cyanide in my cupcake? Whiskers are drawn with icing. Little pieces of chocolate were used to make the ears. So cute. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica, and I follow. It's delicious. Toba told me this game had something interesting in it, something that would make it worthwhile, but this really just seems like a bunch of anime girls talking. My spot has icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Does Natsuki have a fang? Yeah. She has a fang right there. I trust her even less. Natsuki is quiet. Can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? Well, I thought you technically did, Sayori said. Well, maybe, but not for you, you know, dummy. You know, the last person who called me dumb is dead. Don't recommend it. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic. All three of these girls are crazy. Or four, whatever. I don't know. They're all insane. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. Who needs permission from teachers? After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? How are her arms like that? Like, that doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't really make sense. Seems like an uncomfortable position. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I've never had tea. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so that's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Well, just okay, then do that. Kind of okay. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Oh, there's that lean again. Aha! Well, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing about budget and publicity. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri nods in agreement. What, do you have these girls brainwashed? Brainwashed, huh? Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in your club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah, we'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, what things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read in these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on and on, passionate about her reading. Seemed reserved and timid, but obvious by the way her eyes lit up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. This vocabulary, weird. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Yeah, I understand that part. And reading horror books. Oh, you're into horror books. You're into horror books? I'm into murder. Oh, I grasped something I can relate to at minimal level. Yuri might as well be having a conversation with the rock. I'm not that stupid. I know how to strategize. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that, but if a story makes me think or takes me into another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Oh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? Called out. What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind at the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. Oh, she's embarrassed. Haha. And give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything about you, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometimes? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. I'm not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable to share hers. Oh, she doesn't want to either. Guess it's the same for Yuri. Oh, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence. Okay. That lame. I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically up at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Oh, I don't want to write a poem. I'm not really a poetic person. New member, haha. Hold on, there's still one problem. I never said I would join the club. Sayori convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, sorry, I thought. Akari. You all. I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? They're trying to guilt trip me. If writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these girls. No, I'm not that gullible. Oh, great. Literature club. Yay. I'd be super pissed. Welcome to Literature Club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think that with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Akari, I look forward to see how you express yourself. Ehehe. I don't like that. I don't. Just stop whatever you've got going on there. Sketchy. Anxiety. Girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up the food. Hey Akari, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? Not really. Personally, no. Sayori and I never walk home anymore, because she always stayed for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay. With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monica. Will I be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. I don't have time for that. I have heroes to kill. Alright, I'll need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. Maybe. This starts with writing a poem tonight. I don't know. Do I really have to write a poem? What is this? Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I know I'm okay. Intellectual. Frightening. Misery. Wait, why did she like that? Despise. Or unstable. Covet. Unending. Whatever. I'm not trying to impress anyone. Random. Explode. Misfortunate. Hopeless. I don't care. Oh boy. Back here. And you're back with your pose. Glad to see you didn't run away on us, haha. Something tells me that I probably should have. No, don't worry. This might be a little strange, but I can at least keep my word. Last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Akari. I didn't promise. Did I promise anything? Hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. I still don't want to be here. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, you won't see the end of it. I'm not scared of you. Fight me. Oh! Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Oh, we're throwing dirt now. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Akari always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking, like cooking and cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Akari can be good friends too. Sayori. Wait a minute. Okay. Yuri's texted something. Dabi set something on fire again. I don't care. Oh, Yuri. Even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright, well here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. Short read, so it should keep your attention. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? Oh, God. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from her reading. She glimpsed at the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking. She sneaks another glance at me, and then our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was too focused, I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm rereading a bit of this. So, that's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason, just curious. How come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. Something fairly obvious here that Yuri is not telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Is she giving me some sort of demon summoning crap? I don't need to mess with demons. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships. And her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Aha. Yuri giggles. Then all of a sudden, are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Akari? No, I have a very, very dark sense of humor. I am very dark-minded. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of those stories. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those kind of things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you were related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to the other people. So sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. Oh, what are you saying? Just a moment ago, you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright, I open the book and start the prologue. Soon understand about Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulders as I read. It's not particularly a bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against hers, and then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides her thumb after it flips to the side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face. She's in the corner of my vision. I'm not really interested in a dating simulator. Sorry. I think I got distracted. I glance at her face again and her eyes me. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. Oh, that's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do since you're being so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes her page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. This is, like, really descriptive of just two people sitting next to each other and reading a book. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. And it's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Akari, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. It's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were so self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. Ah, what are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. She came in at an interesting time. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Ah, Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. Sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight, or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright, I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. Yeah, mood. I couldn't really find much inspiration. I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf, torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote her poem in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Okay. I'll do one, and then I'm gonna end this. I think I'm gonna do Monica first. I should start with Monica. Yesterday she seemed so eager to read my poem, and I want her to know that I'm putting in effort. Effort? I don't know, I just had to choose 20 words. Hi, Kari, having a good time so far? Yeah, good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ah ha ha. Don't worry, we're all a little embarrassed today, you know? It's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Hand Monica my poem. Great job. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. Well, it worked. You know Yuri likes this kind of writing full of imagery and symbolism, unlike Sayori, who likes using direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that efficiently, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances, can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learning to try new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way of finding the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kind of styles, but I'll always help you. So don't force yourself. What, Toga? Oh.
I think it's time to end soon.
Yeah. Don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Ah ha ha! There's that lean and that laugh. I don't like it. Ah ha ha! Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Not really. But I guess I'm going to have to. Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. That's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I like it. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out on the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything, a hole of infinite choices. I realized now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. That's kind of creepy. So do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, not the right person to ask for feedback from. Okay, wait, let's see. Alright, let's save this, because I'm about done for today. I've had enough of this odd game, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Goodbye.